Lunching. All right, that's us live. So welcome back, guys. Looks like Roll20's mostly cooperating, anyways. So that's
We'll
something.
see. We'll see.
We can at least hear each other. We got the new yeah.
What?
We got the new fancy Roll20.
Which is broken.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well. Yeah. My
It's kind
video
of
seems a
killing
little
it
sluggish
for me,
too.
man. Minus two.
Weird. All right.
What?
My video is laggy. On my so when I turn my head, there's like a
Yeah. It was
few
like
second
that
delay.
last week or the week before last for a little
Yeah.
bit.
All right. So, anyways, when last we left, there was a festival, and you guys were there. There were
Not
some
festive.
people that you had met before who had showed up. There were some Mizars that showed up and started a little bit of trouble, and you murdered all of them. And
Well, they shouldn't have been starting trouble.
yeah, sure, as Minotaurs do. And so it's still the same night of the festival. And most everyone, it's late, and most everyone has gone to bed or left. And so now it's just the five of you, and Westbrook's there. The bartender's still there, but he looks like he's about done. And the orc Jasper has left with Lou. An attempt to hitch a ride, possibly to the other side of the continent via the ocean. And the dwarven princess is passed out on a table nearby.
Classy.
Yeah, she definitely went too hard. So you guys are there and still just sort of talking, hanging out, drinking, doing the whatevers. And so Westbrook starts talking about sort of working on, the transportation into the Minotaur Nation or whatever. And he says, yes, there's one item that could really hasten my progress, but well, it's something hard to get. I don't know.
Oh God, no.
He says, have you ever heard of a dream lantern?
Oh, okay, never mind.
He says, it's a quaint little lantern with a purple glow. You could actually only attain it in the dream world.
I might have one of them.
Oh, cool. Astral projection.
He says, have one? He says, you attained this in the dream world?
Yes?
He says, how fortuitous. He says, you must have used your bag of holding, I take it?
Last I checked, it was in there.
He says, oh, splendid. He says, the only way to remove items from the dream world is through a bag of holding. The problem is that once you get it in the bag, you can't get it back out again, without special means, of course. He says, I happen to know a method for retrieving items that have been stowed away during the dream in the bag of holding. Would you mind giving it a go?
Sure.
He says, very good. I'll need you to open your bag of holding, if you don't mind.
Okay. I open my bag of holding.
He says, oh, splendid. He says, splendid. He says, He says, let me, He pulls out one of the gems from his pocket that's holding the souls. And the voice is like, save me. Why won't you let me out? I thought you were rescuing me. And he goes, hush now, hush. He says, hush. Perhaps I'll let you out if you do me a favor. And he says, and the other thing's like, anything, what can I do? And he says, yes, I'm going to have you enter that bag over there. And I need you to locate something, if you could. And he says, sure. He says, Mist, my boy, could you grab this gem and lower it into your bag? Maintain hold of it, don't let go.
Okay.
And you do so.
Sure.
Cool. Um, and he says, "Yes, just hold it down there for a minute." And a little bit of time goes by, and he says, "That should be enough. Pull it back out."
All right, so I do.
And then he sort of asks the soul to sort of describe the surroundings. And he does, and he mentions the lantern among many other things. And he says, yes." He says, "Well, I do know a spell. It's typically used for soul transfer. We could bind the soul to the lantern and drag it out. It's quite lengthy, actually. It could take hours. The only thing that I could think of that would hasten this further is... but no one has them. There's these things called the gloves of transference. A marvelous item, mind you. Can
These,
transfer
as I
soul-
hold them up.
He says, "Melody, how wonderful." He says,
Of course.
I can't believe it. How fortuitous that you have exactly the thing we need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost
What a-
if someone were just writing this out of convenience.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds.
So ridiculous.
Who
He
would
says,
ever do such a
"Melody,
thing?
yes, now I understand, Mister, it seems as though your bag is enchanted, so that only you can enter it?"
That's correct.
"Ah, yes. Then perhaps you could, put on one of the transference gloves?"
Why?
"Well, you'll have to reach down with the glove, and then you'll be able to grasp the lantern and pull it right out."
Grasp it firmly.
But it's a transference glove. Wouldn't it transfer my soul into it?
"No, the soul is used for transferring other souls from one location to another, not your own soul. You're not grabbing your soul. The thing you see here is that this lantern it's ethereal at the moment. It exists and it doesn't exist all at the same time. But if you are able to tangibly grab it with the souls of transference, and as you pull it out of the bag, you give it physical form."
All right, if this does something funny, I'm going to come back and kill you.
He says, "No, I would never." He says, "I need you alive."
Yeah, now. All right, so I reach in and I guess grab for the lantern.
Yes, when you reach in, the purple glow that you once saw but could not grasp now has physical form, and you can when you wrap your hands around it, it's very much physical.
Neat. So I pull it out.
Yeah, and as you pull it out, there is some resistance. It's almost like a gravitational pull against it. You're stronger than this pull, but you definitely feel like hesitancy. It doesn't want to come out.
Okay.
Um,
I pull it out anyway.
yeah,
make
it's
a
almost like you're
lantern
pulling it out
make
of like you're pulling it out of Jello almost.
What?
And yeah, you pull it out, and then there it is, right?
That sounds unpleasant.
This lantern. So Westbrook exclaims, "How marvelous!" He says, "That is just... wow. I can't even believe what I'm seeing right now." He says, "Well, yes, set it down. And maybe remove the gloves. You don't want to play with those too much."
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what's holding my soul together. Can I please have that back?
Yeah, I dropped them on the ground.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not grabbing you and having those bitches on. That's
Yeah,
not
that
happening.
makes a lot of sense. I am I am
Some
100%
shitty ass
okay with this.
shenanigans would have happened there.
Freaky Friday.
Mike's
So,
gonna be like, "Gotcha, bitch."
Gotcha. No.
That's what this is really like.
He says,
We don't
how
trust
marvelous.
anything.
And now we could activate the lantern and enter the dream world, which is quite the place to be. And because we're going there willingly and knowingly, we can traverse it to some degree and find the catalyst that I need. You see, there's this magical item. It's much like a deck of cards that I need, and with the
Is there more than one deck of cards?
I only know of one place that has it. I'm sure there are more. The dream world's a very strange place. Things unimaginable can be created in the dream world, and they can be removed with some effort, but you have to know where they are, and I do know of one dreamscape that holds the item that I need. I have visited it many times in my own dreams, but because I did not enter through knowing means, it's very difficult to get it out. He says, would you accompany me on this adventure? He says, perhaps there could be other items of use to you.
Loot. Love
Yep.
it.
Sure.
He says,
Let's go.
great. Place the lantern in the center of the table, if you will.
I do.
Yeah. And then he pulls out. It almost looks like a pen, but it's like a nail. So it's just like a steel pen. So there's no ink or anything coming out of the end of it. It's just almost like a like a writing pen, but like all solid. And he starts carving runes in the table, and as he presses the tip to it, they sort of like burn into the wood of the table, and so he draws a series of runes around this lantern, and he says, good, I think that'll about do it. All right, I will need everyone to place their hands on the circle.
Of course.
I place my hand just barely not on the circle.
Not on the circle,
Just barely.
but it's touching the circle.
No.
So Westbrook looks over and he says, Clancy, my boy, if you're not touching the circle, you won't enter. I mean, he's got one of his hands on the circle as well.
I then touch my head.
Jesus.
That is a circle.
This circle?
He says, I take it you're not coming then?
I'm just fooling with you, and I put my hand on it.
And he looks over and Gottron's sort of like passed out on the table there, and he looks over and he just kind of like grabs Gottron's hands and like sets it on the circle, and he says, "We'll take him too."
Yeah, that is consensual, but okay.
Well then.
Joel, you still there? It says connection unstable or lost on my screen.
Yeah.
It is the same.
Same.
We'll give it a second.
This is
Maybe
why
something-
we can't have nice things.
I know.
I'm gonna push reconnect to mists only.
That's not a bad idea.
Are you back now?
there?
Nope. Yay.
What is going on? He left. He's gone. We lost him.
He left forever. He went to the dreamland without us.
Yeah.
My guess is, I don't know, I feel like he's playing on his phone or something. It's like, it's weird for the connection to just drop like that, right?
Am I back now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so when you guys said I dropped, I could see and hear you guys still.
Okay.
What?
Weird.
I was talking to you and nobody was talking.
Aw. Yeah, we didn't see you.
What the fuck is going on? Roll 20, damn it.
Yeah. Well, look. There might be a Derek.
It's a Derek!
It's a
Hey, guys.
Derek.
Oh, look. He rose from his drunken
Well-
slumber.
Derek's
Oh my
fucking
god, it's
camera
Jason
works.
Bourne.
Yeah.
So here's a quick rundown of what happened. First of all, you were passed out during all of this.
Works for me. Sorry
but
about that, Michael.
no worries. Westbrook had a chat with the rest of them about needing something from the dream world, and very coincidentally, they had all the items that he needed to enter the dream world.
Okay.
And he indicated to them that also that there might be loot that they could possibly score while in the dream world. And we lost Joel again. But
Right.
like I said, you were asleep for the whole thing. Well, passed out. So the ritual to get them to the dream world required them to place their hands on this sort of like magic circle. And Westbrook just kind of reached over and like put your hand in the circle anyways. And so you'll just wake up in the dream world, not knowing any of this.
Okay.
And we'll leave it to everyone else if they just tell you what's going on or not. Are you back, Joel?
I don't think I ever left, but sure.
Okay.
You left for us, so.
Yeah, you left for us. Yeah. Your picture is just like kind of like it clicks in and out. It's quite weird.
Well, you're telling me.
Yeah.
Why is everyone else's shit working in my?
Oh no!
I'm still here.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
you cut off like mid sentence, and we thought you were
Yeah,
gone
you did.
again.
So yeah, after you all put your hands.
I hate roll
in
20 so much.
in the circle, it starts to glow, and the room starts filling with this like purple hazy light, and it gets like so intense and bright that you can't see anything, and then when it sort of like fades away, you find yourself in this place,
Ooh.
and
Ooh.
Westbrook's like, "Oh, wow! Look at all the colors."
So I decide never to return.
He says, "Well, Melody, unfortunately, you will have to return eventually. Your body still exists, and only your consciousness is here. And so, if you don't return, you'll atrophy and die. I'm afraid."
Gross.
Sounds like a good Tuesday.
He says, "Yeah, but while we are here, of course, everything will feel quite real. Whether that's a good or bad thing, I don't know." He says, "So, I wonder what kind of world this is. This is not the place we need to be. We'll have to perhaps work our way to where." Oh, I see you. Joel, I see you.
I know what's going on.
Yeah?
It's refusing to use my webcam. It's using my laptop camera, and it won't let me change it.
Oh, that's weird.
My webcam is over my laptop camera.
Yeah.
It's refusing to let me change it. That's why everything else isn't working.
Okay. That's quite odd.
What the hell? All right, I'm gonna work on this. I don't know why it's doing that.
Okay. So he says, "Let's see. Now this dream world will have a connection to someone here for sure. It usually starts out that way." And so about that time, a sort of mildly beautiful, but also like sort of backwoods waitress kind of comes strolling up, and she says, "What are y'all doing here? It's me, Cheryl."
Oh God.
So
Whose dream is this?
That might be mine.
you were not there to meet Cheryl, Amanda, but everyone else's characters did. In the well, you know what? Does anyone know who Cheryl is? Player level.
I don't remember.
I remember
No,
from
I
a
don't
long
remember
time
shit.
ago there was something, but I don't remember when.
You never met
Clancy's
her.
gonna
Oh, wait.
believe that Cheryl
Wasn't
is
she the
Cheryl
waitress?
Crow.
She was one of the waitresses.
Wasn't she the waitress at the bar before we went into Dream World?
that was trying
Yeah,
to sing?
she was.
Yeah, okay. I do remember her.
Okay. Then I give Miss the ability to know who she is.
Awesome. Be like, don't I know you?
She's yeah. So you guys got the special brew from old Ricky, and then you passed out in the inn that I work at.
I do remember that.
She says, "Oh man, well, what you doing here?"
What are you doing here?
This is why I live here. This is my castle. I'm a princess, you know.
What the fuck?
Oh, so we're in her dream. Okay.
Yeah, we're in something. She never woke up. Mike, off character. Are all these people just like emaciated and passed out in a fucking bar right now in real world?
I mean, who knows?
Okay, I'll take that.
He's like, now it is.
They've been like that forever.
They weren't until 2 seconds ago when we told them they
So
were.
she's like,
I was like,
She's
honey,
like-
you're in the dream world.
no, this isn't the dream world. I became princess. This unicorn came and it picked me up and it whisked me away to this kingdom where I now reign supreme.
Okay.
She says, you know, things got a little rough at the bar when you guys left. You know, you gave my friend that gold piece, that old lady, and she quit.
Good for her. More power to.
Okay.
And so Gotrin, you've just woken up to this.
Okay, so I'm just sitting here listening, groggy-eyed.
Yeah. Do you have any questions?
He's just like, where's
What?
the dirt
What the
going?
hell? But give me a beer and I'll be okay.
She says, "Oh, do you want some mud wine? I seem to remember you asking for mud wine the last time I saw
Red
you."
wine is always delicious.
She says, "Yeah, oh yeah. I get you some mud right here." And she just like reaches down into the dirt and just pulls out a bottle of mud wine
Perfect.
and hands it to
I
you.
start chugging it.
She says, "Yeah, anything you want is right here in my kingdom. You know, it's a marvelous place, and you know, I don't have to do any waitressing here." And Westbrook
Impressive.
says, Westbrook's like, he's like, so you've met this woman before then? To the group.
I can't remember if I did or not, but yeah.
Sure.
You did not, Melody, no.
Okay, then no.
Clancy is now fully ignoring the situation and reaching his hands in the ground to start pulling out random shit.
So roll 2d6.
You reach for
flat.
gold, it's snakes.
You just said straight 2d6?
Yeah.
4.
You pull out a handful of bees.
Ah!
Joke's on you, that's what I wanted.
I immediately throw the bees at the waitress.
As soon as they hit her, they turn into flowers.
Aw.
She's like, oh yes, thank you. I always like being showered with petals of flowers.
I can shower you with something else.
Wow.
She says, I don't have to do that here in this world.
Joke's on you.
I mutter under my breath when Clancy says that. It's kind of hard with one ball.
Aw.
Joke's on you, sir. I have a magic ball.
It's even better.
Gotcha. She looks over you and she says, you know, you smell a lot better than you did the last time I met you. Because you pooped yourself last time she met you.
And you're in a
Says, we
dream
can
world.
fix that.
Oh, no.
And so Westbrook sort of interjects, and he says, "This is all quite riveting, but could you point us to perhaps an exit, my dear?" And she says, "Well, I don't know why you'd want to leave, but I mean, if you just follow this stream here, it'll lead you out of my kingdom, I suppose." And she says, "Thank you, my dear. I think we'll be taking our leave. If you would, fellows and lady, let's make our way. I don't know that trifling here will aid us in any way."
Understood, but it is very entertaining, for the record.
All right, it's all you. Mike, you may lose me for a minute.
Okay.
I'll be back.
And so yeah, you guys, I assume, start following the river then at Westbrook's behest.
Sure.
And she says, "Y'all come back now, you hear?" As you leave.
Toodaloo.
Yep. And so then you arrive here at this area as you follow the river.
That's pretty.
Yeah. And so you guys arrive sort of coming from this direction here. And so you see all that's here on the screen. You see, like, you know, the waterfalls, the fountains. There's a weird sort of odd castle-looking thing over there. There's like the sort of runes around a puddle pool.
Pretty
you know,
magic
mushroom
flower
bush.
over here.
Yeah. And so is there anything you want to investigate or explore as you're walking through this area? As you're walking through, Westbrook says, "Ah, yes, that's a much better change of scenery. I don't much care for all the vibrant, bubbly colors."
Where are we exactly?
So
Right
you,
now.
you're coming in right here.
So which way are we being led? Up or down?
This way is sort of the way the path is going.
Then I would like to see the flower.
Yeah. So yeah, you look at the flower. It's almost almost painted the way that it looks.
That's a little disappointing. Anything else about it, or
It's a purple flower.
Can I attempt to discern realities to see what part of the dream world this is?
whose dream
Sure.
is?
Yeah.
Just looks like a scene out of character from a
Hey.
mobile game.
Oh yeah, I already.
Oh yeah, the
fountain right
top
here.
left is the portal you take to get into the arena.
So yeah, you see in the distance a hooded figure coming down the way, and there looks like to be a carriage behind it.
A hooded figure. Can I discern realities on that?
I mean, you can wait for it to get closer, or you can go to meet it.
I'll walk up to it, hand
Yeah, let's
order
get
my
closer.
bottle of red wine.
Yeah. So as you approach the figure, you can see the hooded figure is a halfling, and it has licorice legs and pretzel arms, and the carriage
no.
behind it. The carriage behind it is being pulled by minotaur or by centaurs.
That's odd.
And as you get even closer, the character pulls its hood off, and it's Maria.
Uh-oh.
Wow, hello?
And Maria's like, "Hey, is that
What?
is that Mist?"
It is.
She says, "Hey, Mist, how's it going?"
Great.
And then she looks over at Melody and says, "Melody."
Cool, yep. Hi.
And
Melody, do you have a problem with this random licorice person?
I may
She
have
says-
killed her because she tried to kill me.
she says, "Well, yeah, you know, she scared away the only man I ever loved and killed me."
I no offense, Mist. I never wanted Mist.
She's like, "But you sent him away."
I don't even remember sending him away, but okay.
That's just what she thinks.
Okay, cool.
That's
All
so
right.
on player level, like she fabricated that scenario in her head,
Nice. All right.
as told to me by her creator.
Clancy's gonna get really close to her and just stare at her for a minute.
She says,
Are we referring to Skelly as the creator of her? Like when
"No,
she kind of tried to
Danny
leave-
created Melody, created
Yeah.
Maria."
Yeah, I didn't know if we were talking about when she was
Yeah.
reanimated and sharing a body. Okay, never mind. You're
So
talking about player level.
as Maria is staring into Clancy's bobblehead, she says, "Do I know you?"
I'm gonna transform my head.
Okay.
Sweet 10. It looks exactly like hers. I pull off the mask and I'm like, you do. I am you. Oh.
She's like, "Whoa." You know, I feel like maybe you or me in a past life.
Yeah, it's crazy. It feels like really fucking meta.
Oh God, if
So-
she's here, then whose dream is this?
So for reference, Derek, Maria is one of Danny's past characters that died.
Yes,
there's many-
I crafted her into an evil, twisted bitch to try and kill the party
Yeah,
because they killed my favorite character.
she betrayed the group, and she had an infatuation with Mist.
More than an infatuation.
Yeah. Well,
Given enough time, I would have started building altars.
so, and then she looks over at a Gray and she says, "What happened to you? Weren't you supposed to help?"
I have no idea what you're talking about.
She says, "You know, me, Skelly. Skelly said you were going to help us kill these assholes."
Man, Skelly said a lot of things.
So, yep.
That's why Skelly's dead.
That's why you can't trust giant werewolves.
So she's over at Mist, and mind you, Mist, don't forget she's a halfling,
Oh, I didn't forget.
and she currently has licorice legs and pretzel arms.
What?
So weird.
Why did she have candy?
I walk up to her and take a bite out of her arm.
Roll strength.
Nom 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 nom. And I make
Yeah,
that
so-
noise as I'm eating it.
Yeah, so as you start munching on her arm, she does stab you also. Go ahead and deal some damage.
What flavor licorice are her legs?
Cherry licorice. Why
How
not?
much damage do I take?
She's going to do, if my mouse won't stop being ridiculous.
There was one acceptable answer, and I will not bite her now. If it had been strawberry, it would have been on.
She does 2 damage to you. And how much? Go ahead and roll. Did you roll damage on her?
I'm really not trying to hurt her too bad. I'm trying to get a nibble.
You're removing.
I'm gonna
you
roll-
should
There you go. I'm not using
Okay.
weapons. So.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. You crunch away some of the stuff, and it's delicious. I mean, it's just about the best thing you've ever eaten. And she after she stabs you, she jerks away and she says, "Hey, don't eat me." He says, "This candy body's for Mist only."
That's what she said.
She says, "Hey, Mist, you wanna go in the cart?"
Yes.
So she like walks around the centaurs and opens the like side door to the cart and gestures for you to get in.
Okay.
Okay, and you both go in, and she closes the door. Meanwhile, outside of the cart, the centaurs are looking at you guys, and one of them looks at Gray and says, "Hey, did you kill me?"
Now,
Not that I remember.
He says, "No, you definitely killed me and then set me on fire. I'm sure of that."
yeah.
I've killed a lot of things.
For survival.
Yeah, I really don't remember killing this one minotaur and setting him on fire.
Centaur.
Okay,
You're like, whatever.
same thing.
He says, "Nah, you definitely killed me.
Centaur. Yeah, I don't.
I died. Yeah, you stole my drugs."
Oh.
Yeah, I
I
probably
wasn't-
did.
I wasn't there, but player level. I'm like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, you were there, but you were dealing with a like a
I was
gopher
doing something like benign, yeah.
You were dealing with a gopher while Gray was killing centaurs.
Yeah, it probably happened.
Yeah.
That was like the one episode where I wasn't Killy.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
he's like,
Probably
You know
did.
Oh,
What are you doing
casual.
here?
he says, "Well, you know what?"
Whose
I'm
dream
gonna kill
is
you.
this?
And then he like whips out a spear and starts to stab at you. Roll defy danger on your dex for strength.
I recommend you not do this, but oh, too late. Okay, well, yeah. So once
Yeah. So
again,
how do you counter his spear thrust?
um, I just punch him in the face.
Yeah. Okay. Roll some damage.
I'll just roll my regular damage since it's just a punch in the face as a counter. Yeah.
Yeah. You punch him in the face, and he takes a few steps back, and his spear drops to the ground. And the
Don't
other
do that.
centaur who's pulling the cart pulls out a scimitar, and he says, "Don't hurt my buddy!"
Please don't.
And he starts running towards you with a scimitar.
Oh my god! Why?
Does anyone else do
are you
anything
the
while this is
one-
going on?
I
I
can't
mean,
have
like-
nice things.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast a spell.
Okay.
Okay, that's right. 13. I
Dang.
cast sleep.
We're sleeping in the dream world that's already sleeping.
My boy is going through
It's
Inception.
Inception.
Yeah. So as he's running, he falls to the ground, and as he falls to the ground, sort of
This is like
Like,
Rick and Morty when they're being chased by.
different scenery starts to spill
Scary Terry.
forth from his body. So as he falls to the ground, scenery of like a burning village starts popping out of him and slowly forming around him.
Someone please stab him.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
I mean, he's definitely prone worthy. So
Yeah, I mean, if anyone just, I mean, you can just attack him without rolling, essentially, if somebody wants to.
Okay, I'm gonna yell at him with it goes to 11, so I don't even have to roll.
Yeah, you
just
roll damage.
stab him.
Okay, so sorry, that was metal hurlant that I meant. 1d10. There we go. Because there's nothing else for him to attack, so 3. That tracks.
Yeah, so his head sort of like vibrates on the ground, and scenery draws back into him, and he sort of starts waking up and going, what is happening? And
Also,
it-
is it that dead people dream forever? Is that the thing we're doing now?
we don't know.
Okay, all right. They're the twist. They're not dead. I'm just kidding.
And so he starts to stand back up. Gotron, are you doing anything while this is all happening?
Maria's dead as hell. We better not be bringing her back.
Hmm.
I'm gonna take another bite and see what happens.
She's in the cart.
No, she's in the car with Mist now.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, we'll go up and hit the thing. We'll headbutt it.
The one that's waking up?
Yes, we're gonna headbutt
Okay.
it right in the face.
Yeah,
He
roll-
takes a
roll
bite
it.
out of that one too.
Cool. Yeah, you when you headbutt it, you like crack its skull, and it does manage to sort of like kick you in the face while you're doing it.
Yeah.
But that's like a last its last thing that it will ever do in its life, and you take 3 damage as it kicks you in the face, and then it just goes limp on the ground, and then its body just sort of like dematerializes.
Cool.
Yeah. Also, could you give me a defy danger on your Constitution?
Who?
I'm rolling
Cool.
solid 8s right now.
Yeah. You going forward, you will have a slight inclination to want to eat halfling in the future. Not like overwhelmingly so, but like, you know, you'll see a halfling and think to yourself, I'd eat that. Meanwhile, Mist, in the carriage,
Yes.
what are you doing?
Awkwardly staring at her.
She's disrobed and the
Fantastic.
yeah, but when she disrobes, like her body is made out of like baguette, like bread, and she has cinnamon roll tatas,
Jesus Christ.
and yeah, so she's just made of food, and she's like offering herself to you.
Oh, so this is Miss Dream. Got it.
Oh my god, Mike. Alright, so I'm just gonna go with it, and I'm gonna start eating some cinnamon roll.
Sure. Yeah. She moans in a way.
You
Do
brought
you,
this on yourself, sir.
Yeah. Do you finish the meal?
I'm sure he does.
I guess.
Yeah. I mean, she gestures for you to continue eating the whole time.
Okay, she's into it, then fine, I'm good.
Yeah. Now her head is still like made out of halfling flesh and blood, and so I guess when you get down to it, also her sphincters are like a Hershey kiss. Just
What the
What the fuck?
just
Eat
putting
it.
it out there.
Eat it.
So yeah.
Anyway,
things you wish you never heard?
But yeah, so you're getting down, and it's just her head left, and she's making all kinds of noises or whatever. None of them painful. She do you attempt to eat the head, or do you leave the head?
I leave it.
Yeah. She says, all my dreams are finally lived. And then her head starts to sort of like dissipate.
No. I don't allow it.
So how are you trying to not allow it?
I have no fucking clue.
You start to devour the face. No.
Or the
No.
so yeah, I mean you see part of her face starting to like sort of end game away. What do you do?
Is she getting Thanos snapped?
Yeah.
Let me check my bag exists here, correct?
Sure.
Okay.
hmm.
What would I have to do this? I feed it a healing potion.
What?
My body grows back.
Yeah.
We already fucking tried this with Skelly.
Yeah, I mean, if you give her the healing potion, the dissipation will slow down, but it's still slowly happening.
Then I let it drink some of the magical glowing water that I have.
What are we doing?
That's right,
From-
Mike.
Wait, is
From that god that like healed everything.
Okay.
You talking about
All right.
fire cave?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, So now I will forewarn you, if you're using your items, they're gonna go away.
I didn't say give it all. I said a small drink.
Okay.
I
All
got a
right.
whole bottle of that shit. I'm not chugging the whole bottle.
Yeah. So she stops evaporating away, but there is a little bit of like the side of her face is like slightly missing, right? So it's like
Okay.
yeah. And she says,
That's kind of gross.
she says, Mist, just let me go. I fulfilled my purpose. I've given you sustenance.
Jesus.
Nope. I gotta keep you, and I'm gonna hook her to my belt. Just like what's his name, Mimir or whatever,
Mm,
a Viking man.
She says,
We're all
living
just
head on my
keeping
belt.
souvenirs.
she says to be with you forever.
Forever.
She says, and right here at your crotch.
Yeah, that's right, baby.
Jesus.
Only the best for you.
She says, oh heavens. And she blushes. So
So I lost my
Outside-
skull.
outside of the
Alright.
cart, Gray.
I'm gonna
this-
disappear for a minute.
Okay, outside of the cart, Gray. This guy is. You punched him and he's dropped his spear, and he's like holding his face where he punched him, and he looks for his spear and he's going to grab it. What are you doing?
Punch him again.
Okay, roll for it. Yeah. So you definitely like knock him out. So you hit him again, and he was as you were knocking him out, he was like thrusting with the sword, and so you get like slightly grazed just across the arm, or by the spear. And you're gonna take 4 damage as your bicep basically gets grazed by the spear, and he goes down. And as soon as he goes down, here again, it seems like other scenery is starting to leak out from his body. And for him, it's like kind of like a factory inside of what looks like a sawmill is what is starting to spill out from him.
Ooh.
Does anyone do anything while this is happening?
I mean, I just did something. I knocked him out. So
Yeah.
I get closer and start looking at the stuff.
Yeah, so as the scenery starts to unfold, you can see what look like large like mortar and pestles, and it seems like they're being like they're on like a sort of like a crank system, and inside there are like bits of bone that seem to be being ground into a dust, and as it's expanding out, you can see like sort of the blurry images of what look like gnomes, and so
I immediately try to grab a fistful of the bones.
where the hell is Westbrook doing all this?
Westbrook's just sort of like sitting back and sort of watching this unfold, and he's got a little notebook out. He's just sort of like taking notes.
Hey, motherfucker! What are we in here for you? We got shit to
Just-
do.
He says, "Ah, yes. Well, this is just so fascinating. This interaction that's happening." And
This is
And,
why we can't have nice things.
he says, it's always important to learn about people and human nature, and we will carry on soon. But I just kind of wanted to see how this unfolded. It was quite entertaining. So as Clancy reaches up to grab, you sort of get like a handful of like it's almost like blurry and slightly formed substance, and a lot of it just phases through your hands because this what's spilling out of them isn't like fully materialized. It's just
like
just
a memory
happening.
or something.
Yeah. At this moment, as it continues to sort of expand out.
I still put it up to my nose.
Oh God!
Sorry,
Look.
Maria's nose.
I fixed it.
Nice.
It only took you an hour. It's fine.
I only had to completely disable my camera on my laptop,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
now
yeah.
it's forced to use what I want.
Nice. So yeah, Clancy, as you hold it up to your nose, it faintly has the smell of the fairy dust drug, but it also has like the smell of sawdust too.
Mm.
Um,
It's the natural blend. Nice.
so then Melody and Gatrin, what are you guys doing? Is this all just happening in front of you still?
I look at not Mist, because he's in the cart. I look at Gray and I ask because I'm like, it's kind of familiar to both of us, but not necessarily everybody. And I'm like, whose dream do you think this is?
I don't know.
I'm kind of afraid to find out.
Who knows at this point?
So and Gatrin,
I
what are you
mean,
doing?
the only other persons it could be is Skelly's. Ha, 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 ha.
God, no.
Mist, are you talking?
Oh, no.
Can't hear you. We heard you earlier.
Oh,
What happened?
yeah.
The microphone switched back to his laptop.
Something happened because we can't hear a fucking word he's saying.
When you first-
When he first came in here,
Maybe
Yeah, I
try
heard
that
you
again.
How about now?
yeah.
There
Yes.
we go.
Okay.
Man, fuck this new shit. Fuck you, roll 20.
So, anyways, Gotrin, what were you doing?
I'm looking for halflings. I'm going around to roll discernment and see if I see any halflings.
Cool.
Did you get a bite of one?
Yes, I took a gingerbread halfling bite.
Oh, we're brothers now.
So yeah, this is all happening. Mist, I guess you emerge from the cart with with her head on your belt.
What's her Maria?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to put her on. Well, would she stay with me? I hope so.
Westbrook had said that it's got to go in the bag.
It has to go in the bag to come back out.
Yeah.
So when I leave, I have to put her in the bag.
You gotta remember.
Okay. Done. All right. I emerge from the cart with Maria's head on my side.
Does anyone say anything about that?
Nice. Must have gotten some head.
I'm gonna look at him and go, nice. Would be twinsies, but you know what happened.
Nah.
I'll replace it one day.
She's now manageable.
Gotrin, look, there's some
I missed
halfling
my
left.
skull.
Nope.
I look at Mist and say, please, just a nibble.
Nah, man. Sorry. Gotta keep this one.
Start licking my chops.
I take out. You know what? I have some of that meat left, Mike.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
you do.
take out a couple strips of the special meat and I give him 2.
Okay. I devour it hungrily and lick every morsel off my fingers.
I look at Mist and go, I'm sad. I missed my skull.
So the scene spilling out from the one Minotaur sort of stops coming out and it sort of starts to fade, and then his body starts fading.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
It's from the internal bleeding in his skull. So anyways, Westbrook says, "Wow, that played out just marvelously. Shall we continue, perhaps?"
Sure.
So yeah, so you make your way up and around, and Westbrook says, "It looks like this pool is perhaps the exit to the next area. Tally ho!" And he just jumps in.
Oh, okay.
I follow.
Sounds like a plan.
And
We.
so you
Ooh.
arrive. You arrive here at the edge of this bridge, looking over at this kingdom.
Yeah, this is definitely a mobile game scene. Mike, what'd you do?
I ripped off fantasy scenes from the internet.
I accept it.
Yeah, that's true.
So Westbrook says, "Ah, look, it's a castle of some sort. Looks like this is the way to go." And he just starts trouncing down the bridge.
Okay.
Hey, Westbrook, you don't think that's a long-ass bridge to be walking down?
He says, "I think the false perspective of the dream world makes it seem not like I think that kingdom is actually a lot smaller than you think it is. Let's make our way."
Very well.
Oh, it's like an ant castle. It's like a
Um,
tiny
That
castle.
castle over.
So yeah. I mean, as you get across the bridge, you notice that the kingdom is probably like, I'd say, 2/3 the size of what a normal like size kingdom would be. So,
Oh, so
made for
this-
made for people who are like 3 to 4 foot tall.
Fairies.
And so as you arrive in the kingdom, as you get closer in, you notice that all of the inhabitants are kobolds.
Before we get
Oh.
too close, once we get about like halfway down the bridge, I'm gonna transform.
Okay.
I'm gonna,
Cool, 9.
are they? Are we walking by them?
Well, you're walking up to the kingdom, essentially.
I turn into a snowy owl and land on Gutron's shoulder.
Okay.
I tell him, look out, I want another Cobalt Enchanter for my cup chucks.
So
I tap the side of his head.
Morse code.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, as you start getting into where like the town begins, it's all kobolds, but they're all like dressed in like semi fancy clothing, but it's mismatched, right? It's not like it's like if a child picked out their own fancy clothing.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah, and they're just all walking around going pip pip cheerio, how do you do?
I believe
Wow.
we should leave.
I'm with Clancy on this one.
Bye.
And yeah, so as you start, you have to like pass through the kingdom to get to the next area, essentially.
So we start fast walking. Got it.
I fly as high into the air as I can and just fly over it.
Yeah, as you're walking through, suddenly
Looking
there's,
for your target to shit on.
In the main street, the aisles sort of part. All of the kobolds sort of like all get to the side. And they're like, the king is coming. And so you see riding on the back of a large wooden turtle. There's this kobold, and as it's coming by, he looks down and he sees Mist, and he's like, stop,
What
turtle!
kobold?
And the turtle stops and he slides down the back of the turtle, and he lands in front of Mist, and he says, "Oh, thank you for visiting my kingdom. It's such an honor to have you here. I learned so much while living in your town. And look, my enchanting has become amazing." And he gestures at the whole like place.
What the fuck? What is this thing? Is it a turtle?
It's a kobold.
I don't see anything.
No, there's no picture of him on the screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And he's like, you bought my turtle. You gave me the capital to start my business in earnest.
Okay.
You don't remember, do you?
The spork.
So
The
I missed
never-ending
remember.
bedpan.
The
scissors that I have.
There's a kobold
Shitty
enchanter.
enchanter.
Yeah, the shitty
Yeah, I
kobold
remember
enchanter.
the turtle that I got from him that slightly glows, but I don't
that's-
know why he
that's
would
this
be in
guy.
this pouch. Why the fuck's he in this pouch?
He's not in the pouch. He's in this dream world.
He's in his
Yeah,
dream
but
world.
why? That's fucking weird.
It's his dream.
Because it's his dream, so he's
Cool.
in charge. Yeah.
This is where everybody goes when they dream, I guess.
Yeah, it's the dream world. Everyone goes to the same dream world. It's just partitioned off.
No, I don't believe that because Maria's alive, and that's weird.
Yeah, this is odd because there's dead people in it.
She might be part of someone else's dream.
Yeah,
Maybe
probably
she-
mine.
Maybe she never died.
Why did you never tell me this?
There is certainly another character in the game that has experienced many of these other things.
All right, Mr. Kobold.
He says, "Oh, look, I have used all of my knowledge and power to enchant this kingdom, and look, all of my children are here, and my wife too.
All
but-
1 million of them.
Yeah, that's why
and
they
my
Is
are.
that
wife
her
too,
that-
but she's so much more beautiful now, and she's
Is
not
she that right
so
there?
massive.
Is that her?
Um,
She's not so
Um,
massive. She's smaller
and,
now.
She says, "Come here," and
she's
so you see a head poke up over the turtle shell and slide down, and there's this whatever the supermodel version of a kobold is,
I'm afraid.
yeah, in a super fancy dress, and has like lipstick, but it's like poorly put on, and he says, "Yes, this is my wife. Her name is Katrina." And
I throw up slightly in my mouth.
he says, "I am the most famous enchanter in the world now."
I pull out my cup chucks. I say, "Can you fix these?"
He says, "Oh yes, I can. What's wrong with them?"
They don't give strong enough brew. It's too weak.
He says, "Oh, okay, let me take a look at them." And he looks at them and he says, "Do you want them to continue to produce a putrid liquid?"
More vile.
Oh, perhaps I can do this. And he like does like a crazy hand sign, and a table pops up. And it's got like runes and stuff on it. But they're no runes you've ever seen before. They look like a child drew them. And he's like, I invented my own runes.
I bet you did, buddy.
And he puts the cups on there. And he says, yes, I can do this. And he like waves his hand over and he goes, Sim Sim Salabim. And
Oh my goodness.
they just start gushing like putrefaction.
What the hell?
And he says, "There, will that
you
do?"
said you could fix them.
Perfect. I give him the half the leftover bottle of my mud wine.
He says, "Oh,
Wow.
this is the famous mud wine that the dwarves drink." He says, "I've
So
heard
give
it's
it to you and your
delicious."
wife. It'll put some hair on her chest.
Too late.
And he takes a swig and he says, "That's quite interesting. Thank you for sharing." And he sort of like puts it off to the side.
I pull out my turtle carving and I say, "Hey, remember this?"
He says, "Oh yes, one of my early enchantings. Admittedly, it probably wasn't as good as I am now, but still, I'm proud of it."
Well, you may tinker with it and make it better for me.
He says, "Oh yes," and he takes it and he slaps it on the table and he waves his hand and he goes, "Sim Sim Salabim," and it starts like dancing, and in a little like gurgly turtle voice sings the entire Sound of Music score.
Oh my god! All right, I snatch it up and put it back in my pouch.
Okay.
I'm gonna hop off of Galtron and de-transform.
Okay.
Fucking turtle voice.
I'm gonna be like, "Hello."
He says, "Oh my gosh, an enchanted owl."
Close enough. Sir, I have a request of you.
Oh, what is
I'm
it?
gonna pull out the skin flute that reduces sexual drive.
All right.
I'm gonna be like, can you enchant this with the opposite effect? I would like for this to increase sexual drive.
He says, I think that's something that I can do. And he puts it on the table and he goes, "Sim Sim Salabim," and it sort of stiffens. The skin flute does, and yeah, some veins pop up in it.
Ugh. Ugh.
Beefy.
Yep.
I'll
And then
pick
what
it
do you
back
do with
up and I'll start playing it.
No.
Yeah. Roll charisma.
10.
At least 30 kobold females in the local area and 2 males start like crowding you and just like trying to touch you.
Perfect.
A boombox is not a toy.
Guys, I'm never leaving Dreamland. Miss, put this in your bag quickly.
Done.
All right. Do you do anything with the kobolds that are touching you affectionately?
I'm gonna pick out the cutest one and be like, put this in your bag too.
The two males start humping your legs.
I allow it.
Cool. So you throw a kobold into Mist's bag. Will a kobold fit in Mist's bag? I mean, it only opens so wide.
I mean,
Tell her to suck it in.
a skinny dude was shoved in there. So if it's
If
it's like a skinny guy's shoulders,
small amount of time in there, though.
I mean,
right?
without going insane, yes, for a small amount of time, because you're just floating in the middle of nothing, basically.
Yeah.
But if a kobold is larger than a guy, no.
No,
No, they're
not
definitely
necessarily.
smaller.
Okay.
Then I would say they
Um,
would fit.
All right. You should have a kobold in there.
You're like, I'll allow it.
I say good. Hold my
the enchanter
turtle.
says, what are you doing with my children? You can't steal my children.
Oh, that's his child? Oh.
They're all
Oh,
his
these are children.
Nah,
But
dude,
he
he's going
wants
in
to
there to
go
clean
with
it up.
that.
It's cool.
He
She's
says,
a
I don't know that I feel comfortable about this.
About what? Nothing happened. It's all a dream.
No, I don't want my child in a bag. Kobolds are killed and stolen all the time. It's tragedy.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, she won't be good.
The kobold will come out in 15 minutes.
He says, no, now. And he waves his hand
can't
like
make
towards
it
you
come
and
out
says,
now.
Sim Sim Salabim. And your bag starts regurgitating the kobold.
Oh,
I don't allow it.
I cast a spell.
I say zim zim zalabim and fucking stop it.
It doesn't work.
It's Dream World.
It's a fucking dream. It is to work.
It's his dream world.
I
I've
cast
seen
a
Dream
spell.
Warrior. I know how this works.
With a 9, I'll lose it. He falls asleep.
Let's
Okay.
go.
He falls over, and his wife starts falling over. I'm like, oh, honey, what's wrong? Blah, 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 blah. And then, like, under her breath, you hear her go, you fat piece of shit. And he's not. And
Quick,
Westbrook
miss.
says,
Put the wife in the bag, too.
Westbrook says, I think maybe we should be carrying on now.
Yep. Let's go.
Let's mosey along. I think.
I offer him a drink from my cup chucks. So you want to be the first to try new magical cup chucks?
And Westbrook says, no, I think I'm quite good. And so as you go through town and you start to leave, you start walking into sort of like a hazy like mist, and it starts getting like really, really dark, and the air gets really thick, and then you emerge into this sort of scene here.
Okay.
And there's what look like sort of enslaved goblins mucking about, but they're whipping and torturing dwarves, and they're like taking mud wine and just pouring it out in front of the doors, just out of their reach, and
Ooh.
in the sort of like bleeding moon on top of that, you can see the angel Uriel, the servant of Alpan that was banished to this world.
Hey, guys, look, it's urinal.
I don't like
So,
this, you know.
She, do you say that loud enough to where like she would be able to hear it?
Hell the fuck no.
Okay.
We're in Angel's Deathland. Fuck that.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. So, Gottrin, how do you feel
We're
about
in
these?
danger.
These.
Oh, I'm pissed as hell.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you do anything?
So the goblins are pointing out, or the angels pointing out? I got a little.
The angel's sitting on top of the bleeding moon, just surveying everything that's happening, and these goblins are sort of like I don't know if you like, you know, like farm hands
okay.
or whatever. They're the goblins are the ones torturing the dwarves.
All right. So I take my cup chucks out and run toward them as fast as I can. And I get to the closest goblin and start shoving the cup chuck foul juice down his throat.
So as Gottrin starts assaulting one of the goblins, does anyone else do anything or try and stop him?
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's probably not a good idea. And I'm just staring up the angel.
I'm petting my my head. That's it.
Gray or Melody?
I'm gonna.
What the hell's an Alpan?
I'm still trying to figure out what's going on. What is the moon bleeding? Can I discern realities
Blood.
on
It's
that?
bleeding blood, or what looks like blood.
It is definitely not peppermint ice cream.
No, I kind of
So,
figured that.
so Westbrook is as he's sort of like fallen back to the back of the group, and he says, this does not seem like the sort of place we want to linger in. Perhaps we should grab Gotrin and get out of here as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So Gotrin, roll strength on your attack.
Boom, baby.
Yeah, okay.
Damn.
And are you rolling for? Are you trying to do any damage, or are you just trying to force the liquid in his
No,
mouth?
just force it. I'm not trying to hurt
Yeah,
them. I'm trying
yeah.
to...
So you grab the goblin, and it drops the mud wine on the ground, and the dwarf in chains is like reaching for it, but he still can't quite reach it out of his reach. But you're like pouring the liquid down the goblin's throat. But unfortunately for you, goblins like gross things a little bit. So at first he's like, oh, and he starts giving you like the eyes.
So yeah, now you've developed a kink for goblins.
Put the goblin in the bag.
No.
But the dwarf just near you is scrambling to try to get the mud wide.
All right. Can I kick it towards him?
Yeah,
All right, I kick it towards him.
yeah. And the dwarf grabs it and immediately just starts drinking it. And you can see like a little bit of a sigh or relax. I mean, he's still like in chains, but he seems a little happier now. You hear a thundering sort of voice atop the moon going, "Do I sense a happy dwarf? Scum!" And it's like it's so loud it resounds throughout the air and the area. What is everyone else doing?
I'm gonna transform.
Backing the fuck away.
Get the fuck out.
Good. No, I'm not.
What are you trying to do?
Just trying to turn into a dragon.
You turn into a newt.
I lick my eyeballs and then crawl up mist.
Yeah. And then Westbrook says, "No, really, guys. I think we should go." And he sort of starts hurriedly walking on the outskirts of the sort of dream world, heading towards what he can only hope is the exit.
Yeah, sure.
What is anyone else doing?
I'm following him.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. All right. Gotrin, your friends are running, and you seem to have started drawing some attention from this thing. What are you doing?
I'll reluctantly follow. I'm gonna hit the goblin one more time in the windpipe and then try to follow.
Okay. Yeah, you do. And as you walk by, some of the dwarves like reach out to you, like they're like in a save me sort of fashion. Some of the goblins taking note if you start walking in your general direction as you start to leave.
All right.
Do you run or do you let them come
Yeah.
at you?
I go with him.
Huh?
I go with him. I don't help them.
Yeah, roll a dex for running away from the goblins. Cool. Yeah. So they haven't caught you, but they're definitely like hot on your trail as you're trying to get closer to the group. You guys see Gotrin sort of like her trying to catch up, and then like a score of goblins running behind him. Does anyone do anything about that?
Laugh maniacally.
I lick my eyeballs again.
It's like, come on, Gotrin, you can make it.
Also, while this is happening, you hear once again from atop the moon. What's this commotion? Who is disturbing my world? Do I have to conquer it even more? And she stands up, and you see her wings unfurl, and they catch flame.
I look back and I'm like, Gotrin, you got this?
I don't know how fast she is, so I start running a little faster.
All right.
All right. So Westbrook has hit full on sprint by this point, and he's darting for the other side of this dream world, and he says, "We mustn't anger her. She seems to be quite the formidable opponent, I think." And you hear about that time a yell from the top of the moon. Westbrook, and he's like, "Gotta go!" And he darts into this sort of this like ominous cave, and seems to sort of like disappear. Does everyone else follow suit?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotron, could you roll me one last defy danger on your decks as these things are chasing after you? Oh, Gotron. 3 or 4 of them grab you by the legs and tackle you to the ground. So, do any of you turn back?
I go back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump off of Mist and try and transform again.
All right.
Sweet.
Okay.
Turn into a dragon.
All right. Cool. You become a dragon.
I'm gonna start flying directly for Gotron.
Cool. So as you're flying for Gotron, you hear again from the top of the moon. She says, "No, they should be long gone by now." And she's like takes flight.
Fuck.
Yeah. And so Gray, you're running also towards Gotron. What are you trying to accomplish?
I was gonna help Gotron, but obviously I don't have to if fucking Clancy turned into a
Yeah,
damn
pretty
dragon.
much.
Yeah. Clancy, roll a dex for me for like swooping in and grabbing
I'll be right
Gotron.
back.
11.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
Yeah. So you managed to swoop in and pull him free of the goblins, and I assume you're flying towards the exit.
Yes.
So
Can
you
she
and
see-
yeah, what?
Can she see me?
Yeah, I mean she sees you being carried by a dragon flying towards the exit.
Right. I pull out my penis and give her a second sign.
You see her whole
Holding
body.
by the shoulders.
You see her whole body get inflamed when you do that, and she starts flying even faster. But you guys do manage to like slip through the cave before she quite reaches it, but it's close. So then you guys find yourself in this place, and you arrive here at these steps.
Yes.
And Westbrook, obviously having gone first, is standing in front of you as you all come through. And he's panting a little bit. He's like, "Oh, wow. Nearly dodged that one, didn't we?"
I eat the rabbit.
So as you're reaching for the rabbit to eat it, Westbrook says, "Oh no, please don't hurt the animals here."
Roar.
You do it anyways.
I guess I'll stop.
Okay.
We're business partners, so.
He says, this.
Oh, cool. Cottage
this-
core.
He says, this is the world I've been seeking. He says, I've
Look
been
at the
here
little
before."
deer.
Yeah. He says,
Been here before?
he says, "Yes, well, I do traverse many a dreams, but often I am unable to do anything about it. But as we've traveled here willingly through the dream lantern, I have a little more autonomy than I would normally would. And on top of that, with your fancy gloves and the bag of yours, we'll be able to retrieve what I'm looking for." He says, "The only caveat is well, I could do with some distraction. The inhabitants of this dream are fairly peaceful, but
You have to steal it,
well, yes."
of course.
I use one of my dragon claws to, like, fist bump my chest.
He says,
Oh, wait. Could the dragons talk
"Yeah."
as dragons? Well, then, yeah, I'm like, fuck yeah, I got the distraction.
He says, "Well, don't cause too much of a ruckus. If you could be a polite
Could you just
distraction."
ask them for it?
No. The item they harbor is, well, it could be considered dangerous.
Why?
Well, it's sort of this, it's known as the deck of many things.
Ooh.
Yes, it has these cards, and there are some rules to interacting with it, but the cards can be quite amazing and also quite dangerous. There are cards that will kill you instantly, and then there's even a card that grants a wish. It's unfortunate. The rumors and tales that I've heard that the vast majority of the cards are bad, but there are some gems in there.
Do you happen to know where the deck is located?
He says, "I do. It's once you enter the house there, there is a passage that leads down inside the house, and I believe it to be in that area."
Okay. Well, let me know when you want a distraction. Oh, sorry.
He says, "Well, I thought maybe we'd meet with the locals and engage them in friendly conversation, and perhaps that could be the best key."
As a dragon, I will put on a show for them.
He says, "Well, and perhaps I am not at the forefront. These inhabitants don't have the best history with dark elves, I'm afraid."
Aw. So they're racist.
Well, maybe with good measure. I don't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've ever heard of a furbolg. It's a creature that existed once upon a time when gods were more active in our world, and they were all but eradicated, I'm afraid. As I understand, the dark elves and the furbolgs were on opposite sides of the conflict.
Yeah, we know a furball. Well, we knew a furball. Anyway, so
You've
about
met a
that town-
furbolg?
Yeah, for a very, 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 very short amount of time.
Thanks.
There are no
Sorry.
There are no
Hey, I'm not the
furbolgs
one
in
who
this
killed
world.
you. Yep. Well, there's one fewer.
There's one fewer.
Yes, Gotcha. That was another of my dead characters.
Man, Clancy, you got some rotten luck apparently.
Yeah, Susan
That was an
died,
ongoing
like,
joke for a
3 or
while.
4 of them
There's a
died.
reason why some of his characters are hard to kill now.
Fiamma
Yeah.
is next to impossible to kill because of that.
Challenge accepted.
But he's like, so in fact, I think Melody, perhaps you should lead the charge.
Sure. Why not?
So as you start walking up, a furbolg comes out, and he's followed by a couple of fairies that are flying around him, and he's in conversation with them, and he sees sort of your group, and he says, "Oh there, who are you?"
My name's Melody.
I am
Melody.
a Dargon.
And then he sees the dragon, obviously, large and dragony as it is, and he says, "Ah, a dragon has come to visit us. Hello."
I flap a wing.
He says, "Ah, dragons are so delightful. It's a shame what happened to them."
Yeah, it sucked.
He says, and who are these? Is that one of the earth-dwelling primates there? And he points at Gotrin.
I flick some chuck juice at him.
Oh no.
Not like at his feet, not on him.
Oh, okay.
He says, "Ah, I see your kind has learned the use of tools."
Wow.
That's yeah. I lean over to Miss and I'm like, while we're in Dream World, do you think it'd be a good idea to plant a tree?
I don't
I
know if
see
that would
them lean
work.
over, and I lean over and I say, "I'm going to kill some people here soon."
And
So yeah,
it
no.
looks over. It looks over at Mist, and it says, "Are you? What sort of creature are you?"
I'm my own creature.
He says, "You have you have a celestial air about you. How peculiar."
Thanks. I just farted.
And
You're
one
like, I
of
got
the,
it from my daddy.
one of the fairies sort of flies over and starts whispering in his ear, and he looks over and he says, the big-headed thing. What is this? So many new creatures are visiting our glade today."
The big-headed thing.
You. Oh no, sorry.
It's gotta be you, dude.
You're Dragon. Sorry. Let me backtrack because you're not Clancy right now.
It's a big-headed
so,
dragon. It's hilarious.
And looking over at Gray, he's like, "You creature, you've been dragon touched, have you not?" He says, "What a wondrous day it is." And wait, is that a dark elf? Looking back at the back of the group, seeing Westbrook.
You mean this dark elf?
And so Westbrook says, "Don't mind me. I'm harmless. I'm not. Look, things have changed in the long time since. I'm of no consequence."
He's actually here under threat of being eaten.
So the Furbolg says, "Oh, is he a slave?"
Indeed.
He says, "Marvelous."
I'm going to de-transform and take a bow and say, "Clancy the slave trader."
He says,
Well, okay.
"Slave trade is a pretty abhorrible practice, but for dark elves, I can understand the practice."
Dark elves and minotaurs.
He says, "Well, how rude of me. My name is Gruben."
Gruben. They all rhyme. Gruben, Struven.
He says, "Why don't you come join me in my cottage? And I can treat you to some treats and fancy flights of liquors and wines."
Sounds wonderful.
Trying to get us drunk. Got it.
And so as y'all start walking up, Westbrook so leans over to Clancy and says, "Clancy, my boy,
Yellow.
you've got that fantastic invisibility spell. I don't suppose I could get use of that, could I?"
I immediately pat him on the balls and cast a spell. But hey, I'll lose it. He turns invisible.
Everything but his balls.
Everything but his balls.
That sounds like a terrible flavor for a bagel.
Were you ever really here?
He says, well, I suppose this will do. So yeah, you guys go in the house. You guys go in the house, and the Furbolg is showing around, and everything's sort of like it's like trees and bushes that have been formed into furniture, but they're still growing out of the ground. The whole thing is very like nature oriented, he says, "Before you sit on any of the furniture, you must ask its permission. Just as a heads up, I know not all creatures are as nature concerned as we Furbolgs." Then he goes like into like a kitchen area and he starts getting together some like trays with some like snacks and stuff on it, and brings it out, and and he says to you, "So I have to assume that you guys are from the world of the waking, then. Is that correct?"
Indeed.
Yes.
Yep.
He says, it's been very long time since anyone has lucidly visited my area. How is the world these days?"
Horrible.
Raunchy.
He says, "Ah, well, that's sad to hear." He says, "Are the gods? Are they still fighting with one another?"
No. Can you fight
No?
dead?
They're dead? He says, how?
Murder?
My guess is a peaceful passing in the night.
He says, gods don't pass in the night. The only way to rid a god is to murder one.
I was
well.
right. Yes.
Yeah, see, you missed. You got it. You guessed it right away.
He says, well, so the Fomorians, they're not around anymore?
What the fuck's a Fomorian?
He says, Indek, Baelor, the gods, the Fomorian gods, the bad ones.
Listen, buddy, the only thing we got nowadays are big-ass bugs.
He says, bugs?
Yeah, some real big fuck-offs.
He says, how peculiar. He says, well, tell me, are there any nice furbolgs out there left in the world?
Not that we know of.
He says, I had this brother. His name was Reuben. He says he was investigating these weird orbs, and tracked down this tree that had some connection to him, and he was supposed to check it out and report back, and he never returned.
At this point, Maria starts saying something about someone died like a bitch, and I cover her mouth and I shove her in the bag.
He says, "Oh, the head talks."
Unfortunately, yes.
Lies. It speaks lies.
And so during this time, Westbrook has slipped away. And he's been gone for a hot minute now. While the conversation is going down, the groomman has gotten pretty, chatty with you guys, and you've been drinking or whatever. And he says, "So, I assume you're gonna return back to the waking world. You don't have plans of staying here?"
We kind of have to eventually, apparently.
Well, good. Listen, perhaps you could do a favor for me.
Okay.
He says, you see, I was cursed with eternal slumber, you see. And I have to assume, since I've not disappeared, that my body's still out there. Perhaps you could find it, and I don't know, find a way to lift the curse.
What's in it for me?
He says, "Well, you'd be doing a good deed for a new friend."
I do nothing for free. Sorry.
He says, "I see. Well, I can't say that I have any worldly possessions, as my body's a frozen entity out there in the world. But perhaps I could help you in other ways. I'm really good with plants. Perhaps I have knowledge from before now. I don't know how long it's been, but they could be useful."
Ruby, I have a question for you.
Maybe I have an answer for you. What is your question?
If we found a way to resurrect you, are you good enough with plants to help build walls?
Walls
Dense
out of plants? Absolutely.
I have an idea, but I'm not sure if you'll like it.
I like plants.
What's your idea?
So I'm gonna pull out one of the gemstones I have and one of the soul stones.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say, I have a spell that can put your soul, which I'm assuming I can take from here, into this, and it'll come out like this. Now, obviously I don't know, but maybe we could reconnect your awake soul to your sleeping body.
He says, well, if you could just lift the curse on my body, I think I would wake.
I mean, probably, but that sounds less fun for me.
Yeah.
I'm concerned about this soul transference. How would you remove my soul from the dream world? It's nigh impossible to remove things from the dream world.
Ooh, we have a way.
Dark magic?
More like morally gray magic.
Shh, maybe?
I'm not enthused by the use of dark magic, you see.
Yeah, but it's not all dark.
Are you enthused about staying here?
He says, it's not terrible here, but it would be nice to reconvene with the waking world.
We're just trying to offer you what we can do, like what we know we can do.
I have my reservations.
Well, let's look at it like this. This is a potential solution, whereas we don't even know what kind of curse you're under, so we would have to find your body.
Or
find
what condition the
lift
body's
it.
left in.
Ooh, yeah.
Roll charisma.
Me? Or
No, Clancy.
oh, okay.
11.
He's feeling mildly convinced. He says, well, I've been here a long time. You know what? What the heck? We'll give it a shot.
All right, I'll cast the spell.
Right?
With a 10, nice. Transfer his soul into the gemstone.
Yeah, so his body sort of like, sort of evaporates and flows into the gem. And he says, oh, this is quite an odd sensation. He says,
Indeed.
it's hard to describe what it's like to feel like a rock. I'd much rather feel like a tree, honestly.
I'm gonna toss the stone over to Miss and be like, throw that in your bag.
Cool. And I drop it into the bag.
As soon as it's in the bag, I'm like, Westbrook, steal everything.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
So, about that time, a pair of balls comes walking up the stairs.
You mean dragging up the stairs?
Not walking. I mean, they're floating.
Are they, though? How old's Westbrook?
Indeterminate at this point. He's not said, and he would probably lie
It's a
about
very, very long set of balls.
Yep.
it. Yeah.
At the party,
he,
you told me you flushed him in the toilet once.
Well, and so because you cast another spell, his I guess his invisibility would be dropping, right?
The invisibility drops whenever the person under the effect of invisibility makes an attack.
Okay.
Or I guess just a spell.
he's coming up, and you hear him just say, "Where's the furbolg at?"
In a rock in a hole.
He says, "Oh, you've dispatched him?"
Something like that.
He says, then I don't have to be invisible anymore then.
I'm gonna wiggity whoosh, and there he is.
He says, thank you very much.
Are you sure you didn't say Zilazalzim or whatever?
He said, I found what I was looking for, and he has it's a deck of cards, but it's like sort of in a clear case.
Neat.
He says,
Anything else
Mr.
good?
Boy, Mr. Boy, would you mind packing this away for me?
What do I get out of it?
He says, I don't know. It seems like you've acquired yourself a head and had a meal, perhaps? I don't know what you did with the body. He says, and obviously it looks like the furbolg's gone. You can look for whatever you want.
Nah, man, you know shit better. What'd you see? What else is here? What's even worth anything?
He says, well, I don't know. I went for the one thing I was looking for. there are some trinkets and doodads in the bottom. Nothing that caught my attention. It's all goody two-shoe type of magic and items around here.
I want some nature stuff. Can I discern realities to see if there's anything that I would find interesting?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you hear a faint singing voice in an adjacent room.
Okay, I go investigate.
Yeah. So there's this little plant. It's about maybe a foot and a half tall.
Oh my god!
And it's singing old
Does it
like
say,
sort
"I
of
am
bard
Groot"?
tunes. And as soon as it sees you, it says, "Seymour."
Yes.
It says, "Feed me."
Oh. Why is it that everything that I pick up wants blood as a sacrifice? Anyway, I'm like, hey, miss, I found a pet. Can we put it in the bag? Can I keep it?
Don't you have a bag of holding?
Oh, that's right. Mine will work too. Okay, yeah, that happens.
All right, I tell Westbrook I'm going to put it in the bag, but before he gets it back, we're going to discuss payment.
He says, "Did I not free the dream thing? I gave you the process of taking things from dream itself. Knowledge is power, Mist."
I value items.
He says, "I mean, you could draw a card from the deck of many things."
I feel like that's a trap. I'm gonna grab the deck and drop it in. I'm like, we'll discuss this later.
Oh, I wanted to walk up and be like, I'll do it.
He says, "I mean, I am helping you to get to the Minotaur Nation, undetected also."
Like I said, we'll discuss it later.
He says, "Well, as long as it's in there." So does anyone switch around the house for anything?
I already got to search, I think so.
Hell no, I got a skin flute and a kobold bride.
Sure.
I should probably pull her out before we walk out and let her get some air.
Nah, man, she's stuck in there forever.
She fine.
I'll look for any little chests or knickknacks.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna use my plus.
Roll discern realities.
On
Wisdom.
I'm gonna burn 3 holds to make that a 10.
Okay. Like I said, everything here is kind of like sort of nice and pretty and whatever. So for both of you, well, for Mist, there's a bag of like a sort of magical fertilizer that basically will cause anything to grow to a unnaturally healthy and large size.
I think that this could be interesting with my plant. I might strike a trade.
Then there's also a cup, and on the cup is just written on the side of it. It says 4 injuries.
Okay, I take both.
Yep. And then Gatrin, when you're looking around, you find it's a bag, and it says premium dirt on the side.
The fanciest dirt.
how big is it?
We'll say it's like a 5-pound flour bag, size bag.
All right, I'll take it then.
All right. And anyone else?
I look at Gottner and I'm like, you want me to put that in my bag?
Yes, no?
I don't know. Maybe. Gotcha.
Yes.
I said, do you want me to put that in
Oh,
my bag?
I'm sorry. Yes. I said, could you? Be so
Yes.
kind?
So I throw all that in there.
Westbrook, just sort of wandering around with all of you, also points out to Gottrin and says, if you want to keep that enchant, you might want to throw your Kupchuks in the bag as well.
I definitely
good
throw
call.
my cup checks in the bag.
Done.
He says, well, if you like the goody two-shoes items, I also saw in the back there was this vase, and on the vase it just said for Seymour.
So, I just picked up a plant that said its name was Seymour. So I'm guessing that one's mine.
He says, oh well, you might want to take that then.
Okay.
Yes. And then he says, Gray.
Just work it out. Yep.
He says, I saw in the corner also quite the fancy comb. Perhaps you would have need of something of that sort?
A fucking comb?
He says,
How
"Yes."
fancy could this comb be?
He says, it looks
You know
as
what?
though-
Is okay.
It looks as though it can untangle any matted anything, essentially.
You know what? That's fine. Here,
It-
what do you take this comb?
In fact,
Put it in your bag.
the runes on it roughly translate comb of untangling.
Oh my gosh. Of course it's called the comb of untangling. Okay.
But you'll need to put that in a bag
Yeah.
of holding.
I'll have to throw this on one of y'all bags.
I open the top of it. You can chuck it in
Take this comb of untangling.
Well, I think we've gotten all we want, and I think now would be an opportune time to leave, I suppose.
Sure. How do we
And,
leave?
Yeah, so he says, right this way. I think we're almost at the end of our journey anyways. And he leads out and sort of heads across the sort of, this way, past the gazebo, and on in this direction. Do you guys follow? I assume.
Yeah.
Yes.
As he's walking, some fairies sort of fly by and he swats at them.
Mm-hmm.
So you get here to this. He says, yes, this I think is the exit, I suppose.
Oh, that's
Okay.
great.
And about that time, walking across this area is Cheryl, the waitress, again. And so she gets to this platform in front of you. And she says, "Oh well, are y'all leaving now?"
I suppose we are.
She says, "Well, I think leaving might cost a little payment."
Uh-oh.
No.
And she says, "Well, it wasn't really a request, you see." And then she gets coated in blood and rises up. And some of you will find this familiar. She says, "I require a blood sacrifice."
Yeah,
And she's
yeah,
like-
you and everybody else.
And she was like,
Hey, can I
Nah.
reach into the ground and find blood in the ground and just hand her?
"No," and she's like, "Nah, I'm just joshing. You guys can go." And she's like, she just floats up and she says, "Thanks for visiting the dream realm again." And she's like, waves.
I don't even know what to say.
I wave back, start walking.
I just shake my head and follow.
So as you guys are walking on, Westbrook's like, "Oh, this is the second time you've seen this woman, I guess."
More than that, unfortunately.
He says, "I thought she was peculiar when we saw her at the entrance. Seems like perhaps she's, well, I don't know. Maybe she's got deeper ties to the dream world than first she let on.
Spooky.
She says, well, anyways, and as you get to the tree sort of like opens up, kind of like your tree portal does. And he says, well, this is us. And he walks on through.
I follow.
Me too.
Does everyone follow, I presume?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then you guys sort of groggily start waking up, still sitting around the table you were at before. And the light of the dream lantern has gone out when you wake up. So Westbrook is sort of like waking up. He's like, always a slight headache and the taste of copper from the dream world.
Looks like
And
she
you all
got her
taste
blood
copper.
sacrifice after all.
Ew, it tastes like pour.
And he says, all right then, well, time to retrieve our items, I suppose. Melody, if you would, with your gloves.
Yep. I hand over the gloves.
I tell her to drop it on the ground first.
Well, yeah, we do the whole thing where I'm like,
It's like a hostage situation.
Yeah,
Yep.
I pick up one of the gloves and start pulling everybody's items out.
Yeah.
Including the cobalt. I say, hey, Clancy, get ready. And I toss it in.
Yeah. I'm gonna catch it and immediately start running up to a room.
It's gasping for air a little bit, for sure.
Cool.
So
And
yeah,
then,
you
of course-
pull all of the things out.
and then after that happens, I make sure that I set up my stuff too.
Yeah. And
Check
then,
on the plant.
Then Westbrook says, "Yes, and as for the deck, Mist."
Yeah. What's in the cards before I agree to draw a card? What happens?
He says, well, it's quite the gamble, honestly. I actually don't recommend drawing a card, but you can. He says, and I don't know exactly all of the things in the deck. So some things I know for certain is that there is a death card. I know there's a wish card. And beyond that, it's a bit of a mystery, other than I know that a lot of them can be quite terrible.
Define terrible.
A death card.
He says, well, they're cards that I understand can cause you to lose your mind. Cards that can displace your body from its soul. But they're just rumors. I don't know for sure.
Why do you want this deck?
He says, well, I want the wish card, honestly. The wish card can grant the wish that I am seeking. The wish card draws on your own magical powers, so there are limits, but if I want to link a mirror to a particular room in the Minotaur Nation with the wish card, I could do so.
And how do you know you'll pull the wish card?
Well, you see, that's the thing, I don't.
So you're just gonna randomly draw?
No. I likely won't be doing the drawing myself.
Then how can you use a card that's not drawn?
He says, well, if someone uses it in my behest, you see, it's good. It won't be a. Well,
You're
let's
gonna do
just say
some
it's-
terrible shit, guy.
Let's just say getting the card I want might be a little morally gray. I won't involve you in that process.
All right, and I just hand the cards over because I do not want to draw a card out of that.
He says, thank you. He says, what I could do, here, I can give you some of this. This is a quite a peculiar item, something you've encountered before, but maybe not in this way. And he pulls out a small vial. What looks like it has mercury in it. And he says, here, here's a small sampling of the the teleportation mirror. It's unattached,
Oh.
unassigned, and it's quite dangerous. Honestly, I don't know. I don't recommend pouring it out until you've figured out maybe what you want to do with it. But you can have it. It's quite unique.
Thanks.
It's like an ounce.
Okay.
And he says, Clancy.
Indeed. Well, yep. Yes. Sorry, I'm busy with my kobold.
Gross.
No, yeah, he runs into your room, he knocks on your door.
Join. I mean, come in.
He says, "Oh no! I hate to bother you too much, but when you're finished, if you could join me in the workshop, I could certainly use a man of your talents."
Yep. Cool. We'll do 30, 45 minutes.
Sounds great. I'll see you there. And he leaves.
Only 5 minutes of that is sex. The other 40 minutes are begging her to stay.
Aw, that's kind of sad.
Yeah. Somewhere, it's quite possible that one of the kobold's many children never wakes up. But anyways, yeah, and so I think we close out the
Got
evening,
millions, it's fine.
with Melody, your plant is demanding food for sure.
Okay, I feed it.
What do you feed it?
I talk to it. What does it want to eat?
It says blood.
Oh, of course it does. Is there anything nearby that's like they have steak at the bar or something that has blood?
I mean, it's pretty late at night, so they probably don't have any food that they're cooking. So the at this point in time, the penguin bartender has gone away. The princess is still passed out at an adjacent table. And
I don't think I should take the princess, but can I go out and get like an animal or something from the woods?
It's small. It probably doesn't require a lot of blood.
Oh, so you want me to cut myself and feed it?
I'm just telling you the scenario.
Okay, fine. Yeah, I guess that's what we do, because it seems like that's all I can do right now.
The last person that needs to be cutting themselves and feeding it is you.
It seems pretty,
agreed.
It seems pretty satisfied with that arrangement. Gotrin, do you do anything with your premium dirt?
Not yet.
Huh?
I just hang on to it.
Okay. Then we'll fade out with you guys maybe retiring to your rooms and assessing, what happened and what you got, and then going to sleep. You all feel quite tired though, even though you were in Dream World.
Sweet.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So.
Well, I'm going to bed, guys. And I walk
Alright.
off.
And then we'll pick up next week with game as usual. Happy 3 years. This is
Yeah,
our
man.
3-year anniversary game. So
Yes. 3-year anniversary game
A
where we run
toast.
over all the people that I've died with.
gotta get in there somehow,
I mean, Maria's alive-ish in my bag. At least someone came back.
I mean, is that coming back?
Yeah. But
She's alive.
Is that Maria or is that someone's idea of Maria?
Either
That's
way,
all.
it's the same.
Yeah.
Are we alive or are we in a simulation? Whatever.
So
Must be having deep thoughts.
anyways, thanks for playing, guys.
Yeah, man.
Alright, bye.
See you next week.